normal in Norman. Oklahoma is 1-2, the worst September ever under Bob Stoops. Can the once mighty Sooners overcome this September morn?
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends.
Shotgun. Paul Thompson gets the snap. Waiting, trying to pass, sack, fumbles the ball. It's on the ground. Well, that was a mystery play there.
Foolish mistakes.
Blitz is on. Bomar rolls away from the blitz, and he's hit. He fumbled. UCLA has it and goes in for the touchdown.
No should haves or what if or if that hadn't have done this or whatever.
When September ends.
Coming up today, Mike shows us how the president is received in the desert. DeMarco breaks down the Vinsanity in Austin. And Billy Ray reveals why the coach is a class guy. Scores and highlights next on Kyocera College Football Saturday Kickoff.
Wait a second, where's Jason White? Where's Mark Clayton? Why is everybody paying so much attention to me? Well, young Adrian Peterson, because you were second in last year's Heisman balloting. You are the franchise. But can you be the savior? Top of the hour from Norman, Oklahoma. It's Big 12 football on FSN. Conference opener for the Oklahoma Sooners, who are 16-0 in Big 12 play over the past 2 years. They host Kansas State. And for the Wildcats, it is in the hands of junior quarterback Allen Webb, the Indiana transfer, to erase the thoughts of the first bowl this season for K-State in 12 seasons. All right, hi again, everybody. Welcome to Kyocera College Football.
Does it really turn you on? Does it ease your pain? Right down, pain, strike out of control. I love you. Break out, burn down. I can't let go. I fight for you.
Well, thank you, Jacques Nina. Time to go tailgating in Norman, Oklahoma. Of course, the Sooners boast 4 Heisman winners. For Adrian Peterson, runner-up last year, to return to New York in December, he's got to get on that horse quick. Can he? Let's find out from our tandem of Bill Land and Gary Reasons. Guys?
Today, Oklahoma, the defending Big 12 champion, opens up conference play against a young and confident Kansas State team. The K-State Wildcats may smell blood, yet all 4 wheels are still intact on the Sooner schooner. Sooner running back Adrian Peterson, a Heisman runner-up last year, is pumped. The Sooner Nation is crimson red and ready. Kansas State is undefeated. Oklahoma has to turn it around. A classic Big 12 confrontation. Kickoff is moments away on FSN.
Oklahoma fans are fired up. Expect another sellout. It's conference time in the Big 12. From the Gaylord family, Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman, it's Big 12 football, presented by Kyocera. Tonight, the Kansas State Wildcats open conference play against the Oklahoma Sooners. The Sooners are hoping that their star running back, Adrian Peterson, who has very impressive numbers as just a sophomore, will get on track. He was held just 58 yards in the last result. 1st and 10 at the 22. Peterson, he breaks through, 15-10, he'll score. Oklahoma's on the board. .22 yards, Adrian Peterson. penalties will kill you, Gary.
Well, they will, and they'll give you opportunity, and that's what OU utilizes here. They just stretch it out with Adrian Peterson, let him find a gap, and good job of getting hat on hat as far as blocking for the Sooners. Bill Snyder's group is going to have to get regrouped here. The Sooners come out with a pretty good turnaround here and get points on the board.
So coming on for the point after, Garrett Hartley, the kicker, sophomore out of Southlake, Texas. 8 of 8 in PATs. Holder freebie, it's up, it is good, and Adrian Peterson gets on the board with the touchdown run of 22 yards.
It's just a stretch play to the left side. Watch the offensive line just get on people, and then Adrian Peterson finds the gap, breaks one tackle. Good job there by Davin Joseph to get things to the outside, take his man out of the way, and Adrian Peterson gets right in behind him for the score.
So Adrian Peterson out of Palestine, Texas, and Peterson last year, 1,926 of 14 for 51 yards. Still looking for that first passing touchdown. The only touchdown the Sooners have coming on a 22-yard run by Peterson. Bomar pump fakes. Cross incomplete down inside the 5-yard line. Joe Finley with a reception.
Yeah, Joe John Finley does a good job of working on the coverage in the secondary. That's Maurice Porter, the free safety, having to take control of a big tight end. Joe John Finley, one of the better receiving tight ends in the Big 12 Conference, able to get away from him. You see the pump fake trying to get the safeties out of there, and Joe John comes underneath. Porter's having to deal with a big frame there. Good catch, good throw by Beaumont.
Joe John, 3 grabs, 41 yards last week. This has been an 8-play drive and 67 yards. And right up the middle, Kewan Jones, touchdown, Oklahoma. His first score of the year. And a flag is thrown. They huddle.
Offside, left defensive end. Penalties decline, touchdown.
1:36 to go in the first half. Kewan Jones makes it 18-0.
Well, if you don't make mistakes with the football, you're going to have a chance to be productive, and that's what OU has done tonight. Don't have the same issues that they had 2 weeks ago against UCLA, dropping the snap from center, the ball sailing, fumbles being caused in the backfield. Take care of the football and give your offense a chance to perform, and that's what's happening here. And albeit not touchdowns through the air, good enough to get points on the board on the ground.
And Garrett Hartley stays perfect on the season with the PATs, and Kewan Jones coming on for the injured Adrian Peterson. And he is making an immediate impact against Bill Snyder's Wildcats.
Looks like the left side of the line is doing a good job closing things out. Kewan Jones runs through there. Bill, I think you could make this touchdown if you take it.
Like
Look at the hole here. My goodness, good job. No Wildcats even in the picture.
Kewan Jones, senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Last year, 513 yards rushing. His best year, his sophomore year, 925 yards. And 14 touchdowns. This is the one that said he isn't the coach of the year, he's the coach of the decade, he's the coach of the country. Well, right now, Coach Snyder's club has been thoroughly whipped at the line of scrimmage here tonight and trailing 19-0, and Oklahoma with a gimpy Adrian Peterson fighting an ankle injury. Let's go down to Jim Knox with Oklahoma coach Bob Stoops.
Coach, you got to be extremely pleased. Defense in the name of the game tonight. Going into halftime, you guys limiting K-State's offense to a total of 41 yards.
We're playing good defense, and we've given the offense really good field position. We need to take a little more advantage of the field position we've had offensively, though.
Real quick, any word? Have you heard about Adrian Peterson? Looks like he's been...
They're just trying to get the tape comfortable with him.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks, Coach. Bill?
All right, be interesting to follow that. Again, thanks to Coach Stoops. Halftime score, 19-0. Now let's join Mike Goldberg, Billy Ray Smith, and DeMarco Farr for our college football Saturday halftime.
You're going backwards instead of going forward, and that's not easy for an offense to make up that ground.
The greatest of offenses are not going to make a living in that kind of situation. So here it's 3rd and 14. Fits into the mold. Webb pulls it down. Now fires. Picked off. Oklahoma with the interception. Smith takes it down to the 32-yard line. Reggie Smith. They've been raving about this 6'1" freshman. He gets his first start tonight, and the safety responds with an INT.
Well, Reggie Smith, the freshman from Edmond Santa Fe High School here in Edmond, just north of Oklahoma City, doing a good job of just being out there and being aware of the football. Alan Webb, probably this is an unwise throw for him to make it, and he's rolling to his left. He's hoping to try to make a first down here for his Wildcat football team, but he throws it, and Reggie Smith underneath undercuts that football, and he's an all-purpose player. They like him in this kick return game for the Sooners, and don't be surprised if you see Reggie Smith as a wide receiver at some point here in his career with Oklahoma.
See Webb's reaction as Kansas State comes out, gets first 15 yards on the first play of the second half. And they forced to being in the third long and the pick. How about our Oklahoma Dodge Keys to Victory update?
Well, I think a big day for the offensive line. They've done a pretty good job. No sacks. They've allowed their quarterback to operate back there, running the ball pretty well. And Bomar, he hasn't been great. He's been efficient, though. No mistakes, and that's the key that you want to have with that football team. And I think the front four, they've done a great job. They've pressured the Alan Webb all night. They had the sacks and the hurries that I think they need to get.
Well, Kewan Jones, who scored the second touchdown for Oklahoma, stopped by Quentin Eccles, a junior out of Fort Worth Wyatt. And Bob Stoops told Jim Knox there at the half that he goes, I'd like to see us take better advantage of our opportunities in the short field. Here's a pretty good example as we take a look at our first down line, brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O.
Well, opportunities, that's exactly what this is right here. Good field position. You want to be able to put points on the board and convert these opportunities more times than you're turned away.
2nd and 9. Kewan Jones. What a burst with a Hickson as he breaks it and nearly scores.
Yeah, nice quick hitting play here inside for OU. Dante Hickson gets through the hole very, very quickly, Bill, on this play.
Dante Hickson, his second carry of the season, and he picks up 22 yards.
That's coming right at you here. You see Dante just squirt through there. Nobody there at the linebacker level for K-State to even slow him down whatsoever. Good job up front, hat on, hat by block. The offensive line, I think, has done a great job here tonight for Oklahoma. Really doing a good job in the running game in particular.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Beaumont, keeper, touchdown Oklahoma. Rhett Bomar gave the little fake, took it right up the middle, and the Sooners take advantage of the pickoff by Smith and score after the turnover.
There's a big hole here, blocked down here. Quarterback reads it there and goes right past the linebacker. He overruns the play. That's Ted Sims, the middle linebacker. He's the one responsible for Rhett Bomar on that play, but overran it. And Bill Snyder's got some things to think about with his defense out there.
Now for the point after. Hartley's kick is good. So Bomar, an 8-yard touchdown run set up by Hickson's scamper and initially started because of the turnover. And the Sooners 26-0 now, early 3rd quarter. 29-yard line now. Rhett Bomar steps, fires, complete. Wilson inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Oklahoma. Baldwin and Watts trying to cover on the play. A 28-yard reception.
Well, Bill, this is what you call a skinny post. You got Travis Wilson on the outside. He takes a couple of steps in and then runs up the hash mark. Rhett Bomar throws a laser here. This is about as good a ball as I've seen Rhett Bomar throw since he's become an Oklahoma Sooner. Good job of delivering it out front of him. Lets Travis Wilson run with the ball after the catch, and good job here. You're going to see the receiver go outside. Bubba Moses out there and take the inside, the skinny post as I talked about, and good throw and catch by those two.
Bomar's longest pass play of the season for 28 yards. His previous best 27, and it's 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. And right up the middle, Kewan Jones, who scored a touchdown earlier. Archer covering on the play. Oklahoma spread out the scoring. Peterson, as well as Jones and Bomar with touchdowns. And Hartley a field goal, and then they got the safety when the ball was centered out of the end zone for Kansas State when punter Ryer didn't show.
You know, Oklahoma's pretty well in control of this football game, and Bob Stoops took it links to practice 6 times last week. Didn't miss a day of practice, and this is just another situation where you've got your offense out there with an opportunity to knock on the door, and this is a practice situation. You want to make perfect here with an opportunity in the red zone.
Touchdown, Oklahoma, Kewan Jones. So the Sooners answer after Kansas State had scored, and then the Sooners turned it back to them. Now Oklahoma tacks on another 6.
Well, just a reset here, then the block's coming around. Good job of taking it inside, and nobody even to block there for the guard coming around on it. J.D. Quinn trying to find somebody to hit, but he didn't have anyone there in the hole. And good job up front. They outmanned Kansas State at the point of attack.
2 yards on the touchdown run for Jones, his second score of the night. And Garrett Hartley will try to convert again on the PAT. He does. And Jim Knox is down on the field somewhere.
Actually, right in the schooner right here. Here we go. Hey, these guys, you know, it's a mess in here. They need a maid, I think. But this guy, you guys having a good time?
Oh, yeah, go Sooner.
After every score, of course, the schooner comes out, does a lap. That was a nice turn there, a little bumpy. And back we come. Ow, that pole just hit me in the head right there. All right, we made it. Good sound, guys. Thanks. Good ride, good ride.
I hit somebody.
Yeah, me.
Is there anything more fun than college football?
How much did he have to pay to get that right? Pretty good stuff.
I don't know, but I think
well,
he got his money's worth.
He promised a little airtime. Okay,
That's
right.
what he did. That's right. Everybody likes the camera, right? So the scooter rolling.
Number 52 as well. One of those guys that's a senior that's up there that they feel like needs to produce well, and they've done a pretty good job tonight. I think when they look at this tape, that what they've done against Kansas State, at least so far, I think Bob Stoops is probably going to be pleased, as will Kevin Wilson.
Seconds of the quarter. Bomar wanted to end it with a bang. He's at the 30, the 20, turning it on and knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line in the final play of the third quarter. Look at the emotion he displays. A flag is thrown near the 27-yard line.
Well, you know why Bob Stoops is very high on this young man. It's that explosiveness. I'm up here saying, wow.
Foul, 92 on the defense.
I'm up here saying, wow, because he turned onto another gear at the line of scrimmage. When he saw that hole and went to the north end zone and then cut back across the grain, he showed the speed and ability he has where he can become a dual-threat quarterback. Is his running game better than his passing game right now? You bet it is. He's a better runner than he is a passer. That's going to come in time with more reps on the field.
42 yards on that play to end the quarter with a penalty to boot against Kansas State. That's the end of the third quarter. Oklahoma 33, Kansas State 15. You're watching College Football Saturday presented by Kia Sarah on FSN. Particularly great high school football teams played for his father, Grand Prairie, and they did not get into the playoffs. I'm guessing, Gary, that he's had to be the show. And here, when you've got his kind of ability, I can see where if he doesn't find somebody early, sometimes there's still a tendency to say, well, I'll just tuck it and go.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because that's a smart play. It's a safe play, but they're going to throw the football. And
third and goal in the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma, through the air. There it is, Joe John Finley.
Well, the monkey's off the back here for Brett Bomar. He's real happy about that. Joe John has thrown a couple balls to him tonight and been effective. Joe John is a pretty good target down here with his size down here in the red zone at 6'6", 240 pounds, coming across and working outside. Just look at him, throwing the ball up to him. You take a small receiver, throw it right over the top of him. Good shot that time by Bomar, and pretty good catch. First passing touchdown for Oklahoma.
And Bomar to Joe John Finley. And the point after by Hartley is good. And Oklahoma makes it 40-15. First touchdown pass of the year, the first of the career for Brett Bomar. Sooners lead it by 25. Getting a couple of carries for Oklahoma here on the final drive and plays as Bill Snyder comes over to congratulate Bob Stoops, a former player of Bill's when he was an assistant at Iowa, and of course one of his first coaches to join him when he became the head coach at Kansas State. And the Sooners take care of Kansas State here tonight, 43-21. Paul Thompson moved to the wideout, made a couple of receptions tonight, also at a quarterback, and the dual role works well, and Bomar certainly led the way, but the defense set the tone for Oklahoma.
Really was. Good role there by the defensive coming up and making plays at the line of scrimmage, negating the running game here for Kansas State, and also Allen Webb really under duress all night. The pressure was there, and so took a little pressure off of the secondary, and I think the Oklahoma secondary was pretty close to their receivers. They did a good job all night. So overall, I think it was a good effort by the Sooners. K-State, they got to go back to the drawing board, and they've got to improve a little bit.
First loss of the year for the Cats, 3-1. OU goes to 2-2. Oklahoma season high 228 rushing yards here this evening. Actually 232 the final total, and overall 371 yards of offense. So that gives them a big bump as well as they get ready for the University of Texas. And exciting Big 12 opener here tonight. Oklahoma, it's back on track with a 43-21 victory. I want to remind you to join us next Saturday on FSM when we feature the nation's #1 team. First at 11 a.m., it's Kansas and Kansas State. Then at 3:30 Eastern, Arizona #1 USC hook it up. Followed at 7 o'clock Eastern, A&M in Colorado, and then later on Oregon at number 16, Arizona State. Bill Land for Gary Reasons, Jim Knox saying so long from Norman. Sooners win it 43-21 over